Hey, um, I just wanted to take a second on National Coming Out Day, October 11th, 2016, to talk a little bit about how, while we have come a really long way with regards to LGBT stuff in society, like in general, we have a long way to go. Specifically, I think we've come a long way actually just with the LGB part of that whole equation. I feel like trans people are only accepted if they end up fully transitioning, and being perceived as the opposite binary gender that they were born into, and then fully assuming those roles and the sexuality labels that come with it. So being lesbian, gay, or bisexual. There is so much language that I'm reading today that's like girls who like girls, boys who like boys, like that's okay. And it's like, yeah, of course that's okay, but what about people who like people who don't take on the roles of boys or girls? Or have a mixture of the two, in my case, I guess. So it's kind of confusing for me, and I'm at a point in my life, and I have been for a couple years now, where I'm wondering why there's not necessarily anyone in my life, a significant other, a partner, and I've been busy, sure, but busier people have found love and partnership and friendship. And I think it has a lot to do with society kind of putting me in a box, really, and assigning expectations on what I need to do in order to make that happen. And like I'm on a bunch of different dating websites, and I have been since I came out, and I'm now on Her, and I actually got blocked from it the first time I tried because I'm not sure why. And I mean, I understand actually, because I do present masculinely, but, and the whole premise of Her being you use those pronouns makes sense, but I use they, them, their pronouns now, and there's nowhere for me to exist, you know? Having interacted with people recently that I've just met and that I like, it's kind of a scary experience. Like, you get those glimpses of, like, you meet someone and you have a good time, and then your brain kind of just builds this narrative of, like, all of these things that could happen, like, the next time you see them, and then it turns into a life together. At least in my brain. Maybe that's not how everybody thinks. But, like, and it's subconscious. It's not something I'm actively thinking about. But I get left out of those narratives in other people's heads because there's no place for necessarily a trans person to fit in right away. Like, if we get married and want to have kids, how are we going to do that? Because right off the bat, you have the issue of maybe I want to carry a child. How is that going to work? How are we going to afford that? What's society going to think? Or even if you want to carry a child, how are we going to afford in vitro fertilization? Or do we even want to go through that process? Or adoption takes forever, and if I need to be stealth in order to adopt, all these things. And I mean, this is way ahead of anything I would ever be doing in the next year of my life, so I don't know why I necessarily think about it. But what I'm saying is we got a long way to go, and we should be cautious with our celebrating, because after all, we still only get one day a year to be praised for being brave enough to live differently. And there are a lot of people in my life that I really care about, and I would love the chance to delve deeper into those relationships, but it just doesn't happen. And I mean, I'm not around, so I got a lot of problems, so I understand, but it would be nice, So that's it for now. Keep being you. Keep going. Keep pushing. It'll get easier, I think, if we keep having these conversations, if we keep putting this out there, if we keep pushing, then stuff will happen. Maybe. That's all I got for now. Thanks for listening.